and welcome to another trip report. It is just about 4:15 in the morning and I am just about to leave my hotel here in Atlanta to get the first shuttle to the airport at 4:30. My flight leaves today at 6 AM and I'll be taking United Airlines between Atlanta and Newark, EWR. This is actually my first time ever flying United Airlines in any class, and this is part of a longer trip. I've actually booked Atlanta to Newark and then Newark to Los Angeles in California on their 757-200 in their premium service business class. So that's basically their top level domestic first class product with lie flat seats. So just a 2-hour flight today. I've had a quick look and the weather looks absolutely fine, hoping for a few nice views on takeoff and in the cruise as we head from Georgia up to New York. So sit back, enjoy the video, and we'll take it from here. So today we're going to be flying on a 737-800 up to Newark, New Jersey. Atlanta Airport has a distinctive lobby, but something you might have missed if you've passed through here a few times is this fantastic remembrance wall in the main lobby. It's a great little exhibit and it's fantastic to see some really old medals here. There's even one here from World War I. I'm doing this world tour with a bag, and so I need to check in here at the domestic terminal north with United Airlines. I have Premier Access check-in due to the class of my ticket, but it's not too busy anyway at this time of the morning. Okay, just cleared security, took about 5 or 10 minutes, which isn't too bad I guess for a huge airport like Atlanta. Now, not very long until boarding, just about 20 minutes until boarding starts, which is really cutting it fine. As far as I'm concerned, I like to be at the gate a long time before the aircraft is due to board. However, some good news, we're actually departing from gate T17, which is in the T part of the terminal, which is the main building, so we don't have to go out onto what they call the toast rack. In case you're wondering what I mean by the toast rack, I mean this particular arrangement. It's quite popular in more modern airport designs, and of course, as I said, I'm leaving from the T gates, which means I don't have to take the transit train. There is a United Club Lounge here, but incredibly, even though I'm travelling in domestic first class and connecting through onto their premium transcontinental domestic business class product, the rules say I do not have access and can't get in. Thanks to the short walking time to this gate, I'm there in plenty of time and even have time to take a little bit of film of this 737 that's going to be our ride to Newark this morning. Having a domestic business or first class ticket means you will be in Group 1. That's the first regular boarding group on board the aircraft. Something I definitely recommend. Just like Frontier, United were measuring carry-on bags in this gauge, so do make sure it meets all the regulations, else you could find your bag checked and you have to pay for it. Come on.
Looking for passenger Ross Elliott. If you're in the boarding area, please see her in the podium.
I really recommend that you follow me on my other social media. I have a Twitter account and I have Instagram, and it's on there that I discuss all of my future plans, and on Instagram in particular, I live blog all of my trips using the stories function. Hey, Morten.
Hi, good morning.
This 737-800 has 2+2 business class seats, and they're the old-fashioned armchairs with plenty of legroom and plenty of padding, if, however, they are a bit past their sell-by date. One thing I definitely hadn't prepared myself for was just how retro this aircraft was going to feel. That's especially the case after I'd flown in the previous day with Frontier on a much newer aircraft. As you can see, there are personal TVs in the back of the seats, but they're absolutely tiny. They must be first generation. Something American carriers do a lot better than European carriers is pre-flight service. There's a pre-departure beverage here on United Airlines, and they also hand out some earbuds. It's a really good opportunity for the cabin crew to break the ice and meet their premium cabin customers.
Overwing exits. There are also 4 window exits over the wing. All 8 exits are run with overhead signs.
As we take off into the dawn sky, now's a good time to take a look at the route map for today's flight. We're going to be travelling 745 miles up to Newark at an altitude of 36,000 feet, and it will take us just around 2 hours to make the journey. None of us like getting up early, but I definitely recommend taking dawn flights because I think the views as the sun rises are among the best that you can have in the air. Let's take a quick look around the seat and the very retro controls that there are on the armrests here. This particular one I don't think has been used for years. However, there is a very handy side pocket for storing blankets. Another thing I notice is that the personal TVs have a credit card swipe, something I don't think has been installed on aircraft for about 10 or 15 years at least. The tray tables in these very comfortable armchairs are stowed in the armrest and deploy quite easily. However, the one at my seat had some kind of weird stain on it. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it was this aircraft's first flight of the day, so there was no excuse for it to be dirty. Now onto something much more positive, and spoiler alert, I found United's connectivity in flight to be the best of all the American carriers that I tried on this world tour. It's reasonably priced and very fast indeed. A lot of people told me in the Scoot review video that United Airlines requires an app for you to access the in-flight entertainment. That's not true. Here's a screenshot from my browser to prove it. It's worth mentioning that the in-flight entertainment is free and you do not need to pay for wider internet access to enable it. Also on the list of free functions is the route map, and that personally is one of my favourite forms of in-flight entertainment. After only a few minutes in the cruise, breakfast was served, and boy did I need that orange juice. However, the rest of the breakfast left, in my opinion, a lot to be desired. I'm afraid this tomato and feta cheese tart was really not to my liking, and I found the fruit salad to be somewhat lacking as well. It definitely wasn't as fresh as it could have been. This particular breakfast I didn't enjoy, and unusually for me, I left half of it. The good news is the coffee was a lot better and I felt a lot more human after it. United have a pretty smart in-flight magazine called Hemispheres, and as you know I like my route maps, that's the first thing I turn to. It's incredible just how many flights there are within the United States. Look at the amount of congestion here in the Northeast Corridor. It's also worth mentioning that United do have some code shares on Amtrak trains, as you can see here, again in the Northeast Corridor. Checking the internet again before I landed, I noticed that I was able to look at the status of my connecting flight from Newark to Los Angeles. I thought this was a really impressive feature and will really come into its own if you've got a very tight connection at a hub airport. Overall, I thought United's connectivity on board was absolutely world class. As we approached 2 hours flying time, it was time to descend into the New York Newark area. It's a beautiful summer morning, and I'll just let you enjoy the views from here. So let's talk about the cost of the ticket and my conclusions. This flight will set you back around £220, that's $290 one way in business class. As you know, I booked on a through fare to Los Angeles, and I'll discuss more about the exact cost that I paid for the whole ticket in the next video reviewing the transcontinental business class service. However, for a standalone £220 or $290 ticket, I can't recommend this as being good value, especially as that's over twice the price of economy. I just had a general feeling of lacklusterness about most of the service, and the thing that I liked the most, in fact I loved it, was the onboard connectivity, and you can take advantage of that exactly the same in economy. If you are not subscribed already to my channel, please do, and then you won't miss my next video on United's Transcon service. And without putting out too many spoilers, I definitely have a lot to say about it. So landed punctually and safely here at Newark, New Jersey. I've got a layover of several hours now until my next flight on to Los Angeles, California, also with United Airlines. Do make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I've still got loads and loads more videos to come. This channel is going from strength to strength. Thank you all so much for your support. But until next time, see you around.